What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob, here with my buddy Lloyd, aka The Beard. Getting weird with the beard. Why don't you introduce yourself, Lloyd?
What's up, everybody? Good to be here. My name is Lloyd, the reviewer of Getting Weird with the Beard. I appreciate Rob having me on, and we're going to talk about bourbon tonight. So thank you, Rob, for having me on.
It's absolutely my pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure. I'm going to try to fiddle with some things here. Why don't you give us a little intro with that lovely instrument that you have going on over there?
Oh, my banjo? No, just kidding. It's a ukulele. Larry Hinkle out of Fredericksburg, Virginia makes these bad boys. Handmade. Hanging with the Rob of Whiskey in the Six. Hope he gets everything fixed so you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Yeah, this bad boy is pretty awesome. I really enjoy playing the ukulele. It's a very happy instrument.
Honestly, you wrote me an intro, which I have yet to figure out how to add to my channel because I'm borderline useless. But I'm getting a little bit better, so I think I just gotta locate it again and add it, especially when I'm doing bourbons, because then everybody else can get the love.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's hard.
I'm gonna check.
It's hard for me to figure out too. And actually, in my last video, I was going through the editing and I put the music in, and then when I uploaded it to YouTube, I hit play, and the music should have been going on while I was putting on pants, but the music didn't go on. So I apologize to my viewers for I was just putting on my pants, and I figured I'd throw the music on there so people would at least listen to music, and it didn't go through. And I was like, well, it took like 45 minutes to an hour to upload, so I didn't take another 45 minutes to an hour to upload it again. So.
That's awesome. Well, we have about 24 viewers so far. Jason Whiskey Wise is in. Scott Monroe, Mark Broda from the Scotch for Dummies, Welsh Toro, Santa Cruz and Chris. Who else do we got over here? George. Awesome. That's crazy. Mike as well. All right. We got a nice little crowd. I'm experimenting with time, guys, because it's difficult for me usually to go at this time because I have two small kids who are actually shopping with the wife right now, which kind of worked out nicely. Also, I always chance having some of my students pop in at this time, but we'll see. Let's see how it goes today and decide whether or not we're going to keep this time slot. But also that depends on what everybody else thinks. So got a bunch of people just.
We'll keep this very R-rated for the children. Lots of cursing, lots of. Nah, just
kidding. No problem. As long as I don't say anything, I can't get fired. I think that's basically the way it goes. What's up, Jason?
Yeah, don't worry. I'm usually clean with my speech. Usually.
We got.
What should I drink? Should I drink the Evan Williams single barrel vintage or the Heaven Hill old style bourbon? Those are the two that I'm either going with one of the two. I'm either going to do the Heaven Hill old style bourbon, or
I think you need to do that Heaven Hill. That sounds beautiful. Whiskey Throttle asks how he's going to be able to get work done if we go in this time slot. Where are you from, Whiskey Throttle? I think I know this answer, but I forget when I'm live. I forget everything when I'm live. Who else said what's up? There's a few people I missed already.
What's up, Whiskey Throttle?
Apu, Jillian, hello, what's up? Does that mean we have a female in the house? Or is it one of those Claire the Third type situations?
For a year, I thought Claire was a girl.
Yeah, I think most of us did, to be honest. The Scotch for Dummies the Scotch Test Dummies had a whole thing about that. Jeremy, what's going on? Toronto Whiskey Society in the house. Who else do we got? Dan. at work, so I can't drink. Oh, that sucks. Definitely female, Jillian says. So cool. Nice to have you.
Welcome,
Tony,
Jillian.
what's up, Tony? From Melbourne, Australia, 9 a.m. Why don't you pour yourself a dram at 9 a.m., Tony? We'll get you started early today.
We've all done it. We've all done it.
So what I'm drinking today is I just opened this beautiful bottle of Stag Junior. The reason I opened it is kind of a token because Lloyd first introduced me to this beautiful whiskey right here. So I figured to honor him, why not pop open a bottle? So
Cheers, Rob. Yeah, that's like one of my top, like as far as ratings go, that's a top bourbon for me. The Stag Junior is really delicious.
yeah, I remember you saying that this is your favorite bourbon, and there's a great reason why. It's honestly awesome. It's incredible, and it's super viscous. Like the legs on the glass just stick to the glass. Alex is in the house. Who else? My bourbon journey. What's up, buddy? Very nice, hot, but fantastic. Yeah, it is. It can get a little hot, but add a little water and we're good. Nice. A couple guys doing a flight on the chat.
Oh yeah, what are they drinking? What are they drinking, Rob?
So he just did a flight of Bunnahabhain 12 McNamara Big Pete Christmas 2016. And a few other things that I'm not really familiar with, to be honest with you. What should I open? Orphan Barrel 20. Yeah, that's a good choice. Whiskey Throttle. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, Orphan Barrel. That's pretty delicious. I think the first time I had that was September. Good fall dram. Winter dram too.
Yeah. That's Crazy's joining me with the Stag Junior tonight.
Cool.
So my max for a live is 64, I think it is. 64 people total. We're at 23 so far, so a good start. It's early, so in our time zone, there's a lot of people still working. Welsh Toro is giving his liver a well-deserved rest. I try to do that. Honestly, I don't know about you, Beard, but I try to give my liver a rest at least 3 times a week. So usually Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday are my days completely no drams. My dry days, I like to call them.
I have a dram every day, every night. But I'm not going overboard. Usually it's just like a nightcap dram, you know.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched the show Mad Men?
Absolutely.
So I don't drink like him, but you know.
During the holidays, I end up having a dram a day because you see somebody new every day, like you're trying to celebrate, whatever. So I probably went a good 30 days with a dram, but I'm trying to cut down now that it's the new year, just a little. So
No, oh, what'd you do that for?
I'm not allowed to add water.
No, I'm kidding. I'm a whiskey snob. No, don't you? You know, you paid $200 for that bottle. Why are you adding Coke?
I paid $80 at the LCBO for this. Actually, it was a pretty decent deal in my opinion, considering that the ECBP and the BTAC stuff are all at least $150 or more. So a couple people I've never seen before entering our chat, which is really cool. Picked up a new Xbox One for $100 off. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I'll just let you guys know that I'm not able to look at the chats. I got this thing set up like very sensitively. So if you see the phone go like this or start falling or anything, so I apologize in advance. But yeah, I'm not looking at any chats. Rob's gonna have to tell me who's there, what are they asking, if they asking a question.
So I'm gonna take a quick opportunity right now to number one, congratulate Ralphie He just hit 100,000 subscribers. That's just kind of hopefully a benchmark now for all the rest of us to dream to achieve. I don't know if I'll ever get there. I doubt I will, but who knows? And there's a whole bunch of us out there. So we got Getting Weird with the Beard, first and foremost. He's here with me. Great guy. We got the Scotch Test Dummies. We got the Scotch 4 Dummies. And all 4 of those guys are awesome guys. Yeah, I really recommend you guys check those guys out. And so are the Scotch Test Dummies. Not to skip over them, but I talk about them all the time. So Roy from Aquavita, sorry. Great guy. Also Vin from No Nonsense Whiskey. Jason from Jason Whiskey Wise. Super nice guy. He's going to be on my channel actually not too long from now, so hopefully I can get him on shortly. I'm missing a whole bunch. Swami from Malted in Montreal. Mark from Whiskey Whistle. Who am I missing, Lloyd? Let me know.
You're missing Whiskey Jason.
Whiskey Jason from Germany.
Did you say Whiskey Wednesday?
Phil, yes. Phil from Whiskey Wednesday. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Really cool guy, actually. Check out his channel as well.
Monday, Maltman Caveman.
Yeah, Malta Caveman. Yeah. Drew just popped in from yeah, we got Jason Whiskey Wise. Drew, thank you. I think I said him. Yeah. Yeah, I said he was going to be on my channel. Yeah.
He's coming to the States. I'm hoping to meet up with him in Baltimore. So
Jason?
that'd be great.
He's actually he's coming to the GTA as well, like a city called Mississauga. So hopefully I get to meet up with him as well. That'd be pretty cool. And actually, John from the Scotch for Dummies is coming to Toronto shortly as well. And I thought it would be a cool idea to do a live with them, where Sean would be sitting on my set, and then the Scotch for Dummies, would be -1 on their set. I think that'd be pretty cool. So we'll see.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Heck yeah.
Yeah. So, and Bill from Whiskey Day. He's the other one. Roy, you are a scholar and a gentleman, my friend.
Roy's here?
Roy just put in 10 pounds into the super chat, which it translates to about $3,000 Canadian. So
$3,000. $3,000.
The joke will never get old, I don't think.
Yeah, I think we should make a goal for this live show to get like at least $100. I think that could happen, right?
I don't like to set out goals like that because I don't like to set myself up for failure. So
what if I played a song and said, "Hey, you guys, hit that super chat. Hey, you guys, hit that super chat now." That's pretty good.
That was a beautiful, beautiful,
beautiful plug. Like
you have the voice of an angel, Lloyd.
Man. Yeah, I agree with you. That's true.
You do. I honestly love this Stag Junior, guys. Honestly, I don't know if you've had a chance to try it out there, but it is beautiful stuff. I got to split it with the beard. All right, no problem. I have no problem with that. So Roy is telling me I have to split it with you. So you get 1,500 Canadian.
I get 1,500 Canadian. Beautiful. I'll take Bitcoin. We take Bitcoin as well. Cryptocurrency is our favorite.
I still can't figure out Bitcoin. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like a made-up currency that is worth an alarming amount of money now. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar totally, but I wish I were about a year ago.
So that's crazy. He's asking me what the proof on my Stag Junior is. It's 129.5, so 64.75 ABV. Really, really nice stuff. It's actually very similar in ABV to my my William LaRue Weller, which is 64.1. So a couple points off, but very close. Tim just entered. Tim, your shirt's on the way, buddy. I'm going to be sending that out tomorrow, hopefully.
What's up, Tim? Cheers.
DDIY Network is, I think, poking fun at Canadians talking about igloos, but not 100% sure what the context was.
Who won the other night against Toronto and the Senators?
The Leafs ended up winning that game 4-3.
Sorry, Swami. He was in his live show. He's like, nobody told me the score. Everyone was respectful. No one told him the score, but I did think about putting the score in the live chat. That was nice.
Yeah, Drew, I'm waiting for an S4Ds hat. I would love one. All right, and I gotta equip the rest of the S4Ds with a hat as well. Just 3 more. I gotta get a loan out for it though. Drew says that he has a beard. I think Drew thinks that the only reason why people watch my channel is because I have a beard. Not even anywhere near. Like, look at this beautiful man's beard.
Yeah, I mean, your beard used to be. What happened? What are you doing? Like, seriously, you waiting for the playoffs for when the Leafs get in the playoffs? You're gonna jump in the lake. You gotta, if the Leafs make the playoffs, you're gonna jump in the lake, right? I want to see that. You got to video that. That'd be huge.
I will put that. I will if the Leafs win. The Leafs will make the playoffs, so I guess that definitely means that I'm gonna have to jump in a lake. But if the Leafs make the playoffs, I'll jump in a lake, and I'll try to put that on my channel as well.
Perfect. You heard it here. You heard it here first, folks. Rob, Whiskey and the Six, will be jumping in the lake if the Toronto Maple Leafs make the playoffs. Lake Ontario, here he comes. Watch out.
I have a strange suspicion that this guy, Danny, he's a subscriber of most of us. He often talks about Bart and his love for me. So I'm going to put it out there and say that I think Danny might actually be Bart.
Danny is Bart. Danny is Bart. Bart is Danny.
So Jason Whiskey Wise is growing his beard for my stream. He says his beard's actually a lot fuller than this beard right now. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to compete.
Jason Whiskey Wise has a beautiful beard.
He does. Yeah. He has what I would like to call a gangster beard.
I'm switching it up. I'm going to 62.7 ABV right now to the Bullet Barrel Proof.
I haven't tried that one. I
finished my Heaven Hill Old Style Bourbon, so I'm going slowly into the bourbon. I really should go to the Evan Williams, but I think I'll go to this and then back to the Evan Williams. This is a bourbon show. If you guys didn't get that message.
So Patty Corkscrew says that he's not only jealous of whiskey, he's jealous of beards too.
Some people's collections, right? Some people's collections. You ever see Mark Gillespie's collection? Holy cow.
Mark Gillespie puts my collection like to shame by a long shot. Like I have a fraction of what that man has. It's insane. He has an entire wall of whiskey.
Yeah, and that's not even probably the tip of the iceberg of what he's got. But have you been listening? Did you listen to the Whiskey Cast? It's actually really good. I actually listen to it a lot, especially in the morning when I'm having my coffee. I listen to. He actually went into the thing that happened in Vancouver. Did you hear about this? They went in for the what was the society got shut down because they had bottles.
Yeah, Scotch Whisky Society. Like $40,000 worth of Scotch was seized. Is that what you're referring to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you go back to his that show, the Whiskey Cast just came out yesterday. So yeah, if you go to Whiskey Cast and listen to it, it was a good show. And I can't believe that happened to him. How devastating is that? And I think it was a charity event, so they actually even gave more money to the charity event, even though they lost $40,000 worth of bottle, which is really cool.
It's crazy. Honestly, that is devastating. Just to go back to the chat over here very quickly, we have DDIY Network, who says that he just bought a bottle of Boom yesterday at the LCBO. Yeah, they're going for about $150 at the LCBO. So if you can't get down to the States to get one, I guess that's your best bet, because in Alberta, they're actually more expensive. They're about $180. There was something else I saw here that I forgot to mention. That's okay. It'll come to me. How is your vault collection? So a few people know that I run a group on the app Snups, and a couple people are asking. My collection from Snups is in a vault. Yes, I don't like keeping that one out, because although it's not very big, it can be a bit expensive. Actually, I did. Oh, Whiskey Throttle, thank you so much, buddy. Keep growing the whiskey YouTube and Whiskey Fabric, and keep your beards clean. I love it. You just donated $20 Canadian. Thank you very much.
Whiskey Throttle, you're the man. Thank you, brother. It was because of my song, right? It was because of my song.
It was definitely because of the song. Who I saw earlier in the chat, I don't know if he's still around, but Seattle. I haven't seen him in too many live chats, but yes, we are starting early, buddy. Thanks for
Seattle's the man. I like Seattle stuff. He's got a really good setup.
He does.
Yeah, he actually did barrel proof, Elijah Craig barrel proof video, and I saw his Jack Daniels barrel proof, the double barrel, which is really good. So if you're not subscribed to Seattle, do it.
Absolutely, yeah. He's awesome guy, and he's reviewing some really nice stuff. He does some cognacs, which is kind of cool, because not all of us are doing cognacs, so it's nice to see somebody else doing cognacs. He also does like really nice stuff. So he loves his Jack Daniels barrel proof as well, which I am a big fan of. Whiskey Throttle confirms that it was because of the song, Lloyd. So there you go. I guess I got to split that one with you as well.
No, you don't have to split anything with me. Just get a good bottle, and then send me a couple samples, or we'll arrange it. We'll arrange it.
We will meet at the border and reach over. Seattle, so much, buddy. Starting early, I see. He says he just did 10 American as well. Thank you so much, brother. You're awesome.
You're the man, Seattle. You're the man.
So our crowd is not getting too big, but we have all of the big hitter reviewers out early this morning, or this afternoon. I guess it's kind of evening now. I don't know.
Yeah, it is a strange time to do it, but I think the views will come in after this is all said and done. But
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's what Roy tends to use this time slot, which for him is about 10 o'clock his time in the evening. I think it's about 10 o'clock. Roy, confirm that with me if you don't mind. So I guess it would be 10:22 if I'm not mistaken now. But he's just pulling in crazy numbers as far as live goes. Like Roy's getting like close to 200 people. But it's also just because he's just got that beautiful accent and charm, and he's just such a great guy. So everybody likes that.
Are you in the queue, Rob? Are you in the queue for the blind tasting that Vin did and Jason Whiskey Wise did? I'm in the queue. I
hope so. I volunteered to be part of it, but I don't know when I'm lined up. So unless I guess I'll hear hopefully shortly. I don't know who's gonna.
I'm not gonna do well at all, because me and Scotches, like we're like whatever. I'm gonna taste these. But you know what? The comedy that will ensue of me drinking what Roy sends me, that's where it's gonna be. It'll be funny. I'll get 0 out of 5.
Hey,
and I'll be proud of it too. I'll be like, yes, 0 out of 5.
I did a. What's that sound? Is that your? Oh, that's your phone. That was your vibrate. Cool. It sounded like a chainsaw for a second there. Whiskey Dick just entered the room. What's up, buddy? I was gonna say something.
Why did I lose audio?
Oh, I did a quiz on Roy's channel, and I started off fairly strong and quickly tapered off to almost abysmal. But but it was a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed it. So the chat's going crazy over here. Whiskey Dick is calling Tom Santa because of his generosity, I guess, the other night. What's up, Tom? How's it going, buddy? They're asking if your phone is vertical. Are you guys seeing him come in at a different angle? Tom says hello. Just for those of you that are just joining us now, we're at 34. Beard can't respond.
Is everything coming through all right, Rob? Like, is my sound okay? Because I did lose sound there for a second. I don't know what happened, but
now, oh yeah, now your
am I
sound is
coming in all right? How am I viewed? How am I coming in?
So I think what's happening is you have your phone upright, and that's how you're recording yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you were to turn it sideways, then you get the full view, but that's okay. It's up to you, really. Like we have you in the frame. Sound is okay now. I don't know what happened earlier. I didn't catch that.
If I turn it sideways, will I be sideways? I thought I'd be sideways. I could probably do that.
Give it a shot. Let's see what happens.
Hey.
Yeah, now it didn't flip with the camera, so now you're
so I'm sideways. Am I sideways?
Yeah, you are sideways. Yeah,
I'm using the ukulele to hold my my phone up. That's pretty funny. That's probably why I sound like I'm coming through a tunnel. I'm in a tunnel. All right, so that didn't work. Sorry, guys.
It's all good, man. Bronco Rog, what's up, buddy? How's it going? Go Habs. Can't believe how beard grows. I just use that stuff that you use on the chia pets. Just pour it a little bit and then pops up. Beard, obviously.
All right. Can you hear me? Testing. Now that I messed the phone up, am I still coming out all right?
Yeah, you're good. I think you're good. They're asking if you have an iPhone. I guess some people don't like iPhone so much. I have an iPhone.
No, iPhones are horrible. I have a Samsung. Sorry, iPhone or Apple. I just don't support you.
So, I don't know if you guys caught the picture I used on Instagram and Facebook that captured Beard giving his Magnum stare into the camera. But I chose that picture because I no longer want to be viewed as the pretty one. So that's why I picked that one for you.
Oh, I'm definitely not the pretty one. Although I did get a nice beard trim today, so out. So, here's where I plug, right? Rob, here's where I do my plug. All right, guys, this is what I'm going to do. All right, I've got a beard balm company on Etsy right now. So, if you go on my Etsy, just type in 27 Beard Company. You'll find my Etsy. I sell beard balm and beard oil. If you there's a coupon code for 25% off, and the coupon code is Whisky 27. Whisky with an E.
I'm gonna write that down. So you said it was Whisky 27.
It runs from tonight until Sunday night. 25% off.
And I can attest to how good that beard balm and wax and all the other stuff that you guys are producing is, because
we're perfecting it. Since you had it, we're perfecting it. We're getting it down to a science now. We've been doing so many of them. So now I branched off, in partnership with Rich Valley Apiary, Ryan Magaro, who does, and his wife and kids who run the apiary. They have their own beeswax and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on board and start my own little thing. Since I have a nice, beautiful face mane, I want you guys to also have a nice, beautiful face mane and go on to 27 Beard Company and get your 25% off until Sunday. Hey, it's a commercial. How you doing?
Awesome. So yeah, definitely check out the beard wax and beard supplies, because it's awesome stuff. Like I said, I was lucky enough to have some myself. So So I have Karen Luthra offering the collection in Alberta. So that's pretty awesome if I ever make my way there. If I ever go to Alberta, there's going to be a ton of things I need to do. I will probably have to bring a cube van because the prices of Scotch down there are just insane. Never used. Yeah, see, Drew, that's probably why you think I have such a great beard and you don't like your own beard, because you're not using Lloyd's beard products. That's exactly what it is. So there you go. Now you got to go use Whisky 27 as the promotion code. Kilted Moose. I guess that's Scott as well because it looks like the same picture. What are you planning to do with all the empty? That's a good question. I feel like I should invite Roy from Aquavita to come to my house and do a recycled video with all these empty bottles live on my set. That would be pretty cool, I think.
I want to be there for that.
So Kilted Moose is Scott Monroe. Super cool guy.
What's up, Scott? The basic.
Yeah, so basically, that's Crazy's asking if you fly from province to province, can you bring as much whiskey as you can carry? The answer to that is absolutely. So basically what happened was a few years back, some guy loaded up a truck, drove from Quebec to Ontario. The police pulled him over and they said, you're not within your rights to buy all this alcohol in Quebec. We're charging you. They tried to. The federal government stepped in and said, all citizens are within their rights in Canada to buy from any province. And that goes with, like, if you find a willing courier, you can buy in another province and have them ship it to you. The only condition is you can only do up to 9 liters at a time per box. So you can buy basically 12 750 milliliter bottles and have them shipped to your house as long as you have a willing courier. Also, you can carry as much whiskey or whatever else in your bag as possible. I think it also depends on the airline, though. I think that might be the one condition. It's not against the law, but it depends on whatever the airline wants, just like the courier shipping the bottles.
Good question. That was a good question.
Tom's saying that Rob lives in Westeros. He's one of the first men. Roy lives in...
I'm on the other side of the wall. I'm one of those, what are they called? The weird people.
Yeah.
I'm weird.
If I had that huge beard, then I would... Well, I like to consider myself more of a Jon Snow kind of, like, northerner, but not necessarily beyond the wall.
Well, that bullet barrel strength, the bullet barrel strength, I highly recommend that. That is a very fine dram. They actually do the bullet rye too, which is very good.
And
I'm gonna switch up again. I'm gonna go to Evan Williams, the 2007 single barrel vintage. So ironically, I have the Maker's Mark cast strength. The Samuels family actually kind of started the bourbon heritage. Maker's Mark came about in 1943, and then Evan Williams is a Heaven Hill product, but also kind of like the originators, Evan Williams and I want to say one of the Samuels.
So Zaggy has a question. He's asking if anybody can recommend a good bourbon. I think you would be the best guy for the job. He said they tried.
The thing is like everyone's palate is different. So, when people say, hey, I'd like a good bourbon, well, there's a lot of questions I need to ask. Have you ever had bourbon before? Do you shoot bourbon? Do you shoot rye? Because if that's the case, I don't want to recommend anything to you. But don't shoot anything. It's all about sipping. We just sip. We're sippers. But if you're gonna, obviously, where did we go? Here it is. The Heaven Hill, and also I just finished the Buffalo Trace, a similar bottle. This is a good starter for a bourbon. This Evan Williams is a pretty good starter. I know a lot of people don't like it. I think it's fine. It's a mid-grade bourbon. But don't start with a barrel strength. Don't start with cast strength. I mean, that way you don't have to water it. Start with something small. Don't start with Elijah Barrel Proof. Don't start with Stag Junior. You're not going to like it. You're gonna.
Yeah, I think that's solid advice. If you start with a barrel strength, it's going to probably deter you from wanting to try anything else in the bourbon world. Start light, work your way up. That's the best advice I can give for all types of whiskey. That's Scotch, that's peated Scotch, that's high ABV whiskeys in general. You want to start small and work your way up. Drew asks if I've reviewed the Douglas Lang that they recently just reviewed on their channel. So if you guys haven't tried that, I can't remember which one it was. It's high up now. But I have not, Drew. And you guys should check out their channel because that's the Scotch for Dummies. They just did an awesome review on that Douglas Lang. So you guys should check that out. Peter White just showed up. What's up, Peter White? In this glass right here, I have the Pikesville 6-year-old. That's a rye. That was given to me by Peter White. So this will be my opportunity to review that because I had half of this beautiful dram here a couple days ago, or at least about a week ago. And now I have the rest of this. So we're about almost 40 minutes in. I'm going to finish up this dram and then I'm going to switch over to the Pikesville.
Cheers, Peter White. I'm going to drink this. I'm going to finish this Evan Williams. And then I'm going to do it. Rob and I are going to switch up. We talked a little bit about bourbon. Bourbon. This is supposed to be a bourbon show. If you didn't know, in 1964, the U.S. government made bourbon the national drink. Bourbon is a very disputed. Who created it? Where did it come from? How did it happen? Was it a burnt fish barrel from Elijah Craig? Was it named after Bourbon County? Was it named after Bourbon Street in New Orleans? There's a lot of disputed facts about bourbon. The fact is, it didn't become, stated bourbon, labeled bourbon until the 1840s, and it actually became bourbon, and no one really knows why. It was just like a freak accident. There was a lot of hands involved, but a lot of disputed facts. There's a guy named Michael Veach that does a lot of, he did a lot of research in Kentucky at the time. So check it out. It's fun.
So Beard has I think a giveaway or at least a quiz question that he wants to ask the crowd. I think the best way to do this is when you're ready to ask the question. You want to wait till the end, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, let's wait till we get to the rye because I'm going to open this toasted. But you have a question too, don't you?
Yeah, I think I can pull off a question.
You're like, I don't really have it. I'm going to try. What's my favorite color? Whoever guesses my favorite color gets. What do they get? I bet you your favorite color is blue. What do I get? What do I win? Your favorite color is blue.
You're right. My favorite color is blue. And that's probably only because I'm colorblind, and that's one of the few colors that I can see very well. So, but also, people tell me
that's my second favorite color. My first favorite color is green, but my second favorite color is blue.
Well, I just had a whole bunch of camel whiskey in the 6 hats made, so maybe that one might be for you.
Okay, I got 2 whiskey in the six hats. I got the black on black, which is I wear this quite a bit. And then I got my Penguins, Pittsburgh Penguins colors, my yellow and my black.
So Nick is asking where he can get Whiskey in the 6 merchandise. Basically, I don't necessarily have a site where you can buy from, so I'm going to leave my email address right here, whiskeyinthe6@gmail.com. And if you're interested in getting a hat or a shirt, let me know. That's crazy. Says
So
go.
I'm going to do an opening. Are you ready to go to the rye, or have you already gone to the rye?
I haven't touched the rye yet. I'm waiting for you to open yours up, and then we'll get started.
All right. I'm going to open the toasted barrel finished Kentucky straight rye whiskey of mixers. So that's what I'm going to open right now. Let's see if I can do the same kind of opening I did the Midwinter Nights Dram. Just kidding. This is going to be easier.
So
Oh,
Tony,
just got to twist the bottle. Here you go. Ready? Hey, Chihuahua. Mama mia. So there's a little bourbon left in this. I don't think it's going to hurt it, right, Rob?
that's right.
Oh, I'm spilling. Oh, nice.
Beautiful. Rob, you typed your email address wrong. Did I? whiskeyinthe6@gmail.com. There's no. Really? It shows up right on my side. There's no E in whiskey on my email address. I don't know. Tom, you want to share it? Maybe maybe this whiskey's hurting my vision. Someone asked a question earlier that I was going to respond to, but I lost it. Oh, Tony says, does the name have anything to do with European bourbon family? I don't know.
Oh, well, technically, yes. The European family was in a county that was in Virginia called the Old Bourbon County. So, yeah, technically, that's exactly where it originated. And it's funny because Elijah Craig burnt the barrel to get fish smell out and then put his whiskey in. See, the thing about it is, like, the Europeans had been burning barrels for centuries before that to get a better flavor into their whiskey. So I don't know. Again, it's a lot of hype, you know, and that's why bourbon is a $2.9 billion industry in our country, and you know, it's good advertising. That's why people pay anywhere between $500 and $5,000 for a Pappy Van Winkle. It's like good advertising, good marketing. You know, it's like if you can afford that bourbon, then let me know, and here's my email address.
Exactly. So Robbie, Rob is asking on the chat, natural color, which whiskey are you referring to? I want to get back into secondary markets with you a little bit because I feel like something's happening in the bourbon world. Like 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, you could buy a Pappy Van Winkle for probably a quarter of the price that you pay nowadays, if not less. The retail price too. I'm not just talking secondary prices. So what do you think caused that? Because a lot of people say, oh, well, the Buffalo Trace stuff, the Buffalo Trace Antiques collection, is rare. And actually a friend of mine on the chat tonight, Peter White, and I had this chat a few times saying, if something's released every year, is that technically considered rare? I know there's a big demand for bourbon, but is it necessarily rare? Like there's Scotch that's released in single casks that's 300 bottles. There's limited releases of, Kentucky Owl, like 11 or what was it, like 10,000 bottles, or we don't really know how many they released, but
yeah, we don't know how much is in the warehouse. Like that's just what they did. Again, the marketing. It's all about the marketing. You know, it's like Happy Van Winkle with his cigar in his mouth in the front label. I mean, it looks cool. You know, people, especially people who smoke cigars, like me, I love cigars. So like, you know, when you're smoking a cigar and you see a bottle, you're a cigar smoker, and you go into the store and you see a guy with a cigar in his face, you know, you get attracted to that. It's about attraction. Is the liquid in the bottle worth that? No, not at all. It's never like they're like Elijah Barrel Proofs, which was like 50, $60 in the States. Still, you know, between 50 and 75. You know, it's like that's really good whiskey. You know, why pay $500 for a bottle when you could get a bottle for, you know, cheaper? You know, is it good? Yeah, it's good, but it's not worth that money at all.
So I'm going to put you on the spot here, and if you want to pass on the question, that's cool. But what would you say is a readily available, and I think I know your answer already, but I'm gonna answer this as well. But readily available, not too expensive bourbon that someone can go out there and buy tomorrow if they want to and really be happy with it.
Henry McKenna. Henry McKenna, 10 year.
Henry McKenna.
Oh yeah,
Henry
McKenna 10-year. Do it.
I have not.
That's a good mid bourbon. Very. It's like $36, and it's delicious.
Wow. Yeah. See, so Peter White saying 19 Old Forester 1920 Prohibition. I would agree with him. I also never tried the Henry McKenna, but I think I trust your palate, so I would bet money that that's really good. Also, the Maker's Mark cast strength. I think that's great value for $50 American. You can get a Maker's Mark cast strength. Sometimes it's a little bit more expensive depending on where you are, but I think that's a solid deal.
Oh yeah, the Maker's Mark cast strength, which I have, it's really delicious. Yeah, it's good.
And
but I wanted to tell you about this toasted rye that I'm drinking from Michter's. I've had it before. Actually, I have to cheers to Claire the Third right now. So cheers, Claire the Third, and thank you for that liquid, sir. I've actually tried it this with him. We had like a rye sit down. We had like Pappy Van Winkle Family Reserve rye. We had the Whistle Pig Boss Hog, the Black Prince, and a whole bunch of other ryes that we had. And thank you, sir. That was a good tasting. But yes, this is some very good juice. If you can get your hands on the Michter's Toasted Barrel Strength Rye, especially if you like rye, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, Claire the Third is a super generous guy. We did a little trade, and I think he was being more generous on his side, and I was very grateful. Nick is asking, would you recommend a bourbon with dinner? If so, which would you choose?
Rye. I'd recommend a bourbon for dinner. It's rye.
All right, so I'm just gonna go back through some of the. Santa Cruzin said, I think Old Granddad's 114 is an excellent bourbon.
Yes, that's very good. I agree with him on that. That's very good bourbon.
DDIY Network says Evan Williams 1873. Peter White's also saying Maker's Mark cast strength. McKenna, especially for the price over here. Patty Corkscrew says that, so he agrees with you. Knob Creek 120 or 100. I haven't tried either of those. I've been wanting to try the Knob Creek. It's actually pretty readily available over here, and I don't know what's deterred me from buying it, but I feel like if it's sticking to a shelf, and this is the preconceived notions that we all make. If it's sticking to a shelf, that must mean it's not that great. That is ludicrous, and I got to stop thinking that way. I try to teach other people not to think that way, and then I end up doing the exact same thing. So,
do you want to see something cool, Rob? I'm about ready to throw something cool out. You ready?
Absolutely.
All right. So, my cousin Christopher got this bottle for me in 2007. I'm waiting for a special occasion to open it. That's a 2007 bottle.
Very nice.
Knob Creek. I love Knob Creek, and actually, I've had this bottle. I've tasted every expression of the Knob Creek 9 year, age 9 years. But I kept that bottle because it was a gift. I already had one open, and Knob Creek, Knob Creek Rye, Knob Creek, anything. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Knob Creek.
Kilted Moose is taking off. That's Scott Monroe. Thanks for coming by, buddy. Check out Kilted Moose, guys. Super cool guy. Basically they're saying Knob Creek 120 is your best dessert bourbon right now. A few people are saying that, and now it's making me very curious. I think I need to go buy.
Was that dessert? I thought that was dinner. I thought he asked what bourbon to have for dinner. He was asking what bourbon to have for dessert. Okay.
So the fifth dummy has just entered the room. Mike Highfield. He's the bourbon specialist on the Scotch for Dummies. Not one of the 4 dummies, but he tends to pop in every once in a while, especially when talking bourbons with Sean. Super cool guy. What's up, Mike?
What's up, John? Cheers.
Whiskey Wings is in the house. Oh, Vin just showed up. No Nonsense Whiskey, guys. Check out No Nonsense Whiskey. Super cool guy.
Hey, Vin, congratulations on 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, Vin. Woo! I'll be there soon. Maybe. I don't know.
Now we're waiting for Vin to do his first live on his own so that we can super chat the hell out of him and get him some income, because these channels can be quite costly. So we're at the 5:50 mark, which means we've been up for about 50 minutes or just over. I think maybe we'll ask the question and then we'll have people think of what they're gonna say. But I want to talk a little bit before we go. Why don't you talk a little bit more about that Mitchers, and then I'll talk a little bit about this Pikesville, and then we'll ask the question.
Well, this Victor's I just opened on Whiskey in the Sixth channel tonight, the first opening of it. I've had it before. It's really good, barrel strength, 1753. The back of the label says, "We are proud to offer this special release of our toasted barrel finished rye whiskey. After full maturation in a hand-selected charred white oak barrel, we finished our US 1 single barrel strength rye whiskey in a new uncharred barrel that has been toasted to our exact specifications at peak flavor. It is further mellowed by our signature filtration." Rock and roll. Rock and roll, Mictors, you done good. I like it. I'm impressed. I love rye. I'm a rye head.
I'm gonna definitely pick up a bottle based on your recommendation, because I've scouted a few in one of my stores in Alberta, so I'll definitely be picking that up shortly. Yeah, so Roy brings up a very good point, and I don't think how rude of me to not plug you a little bit more. But so if you guys are familiar with that beautiful bearded face over there, it's because he was part of Bubba and the Beard back in the day. He's since gone on his own. They're still best buddies, but Bubba was no longer able to continue, and Beard said, "I love whiskey and I need to continue doing my thing." So he has a channel called Getting Weird with the Beard. And if you guys don't mind, I know there's only about 30 people in the chat, actually 27 now, so we've dropped a couple. But if you guys can head there, hit subscribe to his channel, because he is a super cool dude. And if you're watching this later on tonight or tomorrow or whenever you watch it, make sure you check out Beard's channel, because number one, he is
weird. Number one, he is weird.
He is a great dude. He's a great musician, and he knows a ton about whiskey, especially rye and bourbon. So I've learned a lot from him personally, and I know that you guys will too. So definitely check out his channel and subscribe.
Thank you, Rob. But I really want to know what you're thinking about that Pikesville Rye.
Honestly, this Pikesville Rye is incredible. I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't added a drop of water, and I don't need to. It doesn't burn at all. It's 110 proof. So it's 55%, but it's incredible. I think I would probably end up giving this an A+ if I had to grade it.
This rye is 106.8 proof, the second highest proof rye I've ever, or third highest proof rye I've ever drank. Maybe the fourth.
I would say that this one drinks a lot like a bourbon. I'm not sure what the mash bill on the Pikesville is, but I would say that it's leaning towards heavy corn. Obviously, for those of you that don't know, anything that's considered a straight rye has to be at least 51% rye. So in the mash bill, when they're dumping the grain into the mash tun, the percentage has to be at least 51% rye, and then it can be anything else grain-wise. So it could be corn, it could be barley, whatever. Those are the three that they mainly use. Wheat as well. So this, I'm going to say, is low 50s for rye, and then heavily corned as well. Oh, Jason Whiskey Wise is very close to 700 subscribers, which is super cool. He's going to be on my channel, as I said earlier, very, very shortly. But right now, what you guys need to do is go over to his channel, hit the subscribe button. He is an awesome dude. He reviews some really, really awesome whiskey. World whiskeys.
I second the motion. If you have not, he's funny. He's got his little monkey. You got to go check out his monkey. Have you seen Jason Whiskey Wise's monkey? You got to go see his monkey.
If that's not incentive, I'm not sure what is. But honestly, I would concede and say that he actually has a better beard than myself. So definitely go check out Jason Whiskey Wise. Super cool dude. Peter White is saying that you need some Thomas H. Handy rye. Have you ever tried it?
I have had Thomas H. Handy rye several occasions. One actually back to Claire to the third, and I actually we had, like I said, we had the big rye thing, and we had Thomas H. Handy there. That's very, very good rye. I really, yeah, that's top tier rye for sure. Also, if you have never had Iowa Legendary Rye, they went to a different bottling and a different style of their rye, so you gotta check that out. The Iowa Legendary Rye, do that.
Absolutely. So we got one dislike. Someone disliked the. That's okay, DDIY. It happens. I get at least one dislike on all my videos. So no problem.
Dislike? Oh yeah, well, it happens. You know, you got. It was probably Swami.
No.
No.
Why don't you ask your question? We'll cap it off. I'm gonna just quickly say that this Pikesville is awesome stuff, and if you have an opportunity, you should pick it up. It is sweeter than any rye that I've ever tried. That hasn't been finished in a wine barrel or anything of that sort. So definitely check that.
How many folks are with us right now, Rob?
What's that?
How many folks are with us right now?
We have 26 at the moment. We have a couple people dropping off.
Okay. Well, for you 26 people, I'm going to ask a question. It's about bourbon, but whoever gets it right gets a sampling of my infinity bottle, my bourbon infinity bottle. So I'm going to put some music behind it because besides Elijah Craig, who was the other one individual credited for bourbon whiskey? I'll ask it one more time. Besides Elijah Craig, who was the other one individual credited with bourbon whiskey?
So Roy's saying Fred, no.
No. No, Fred, no.
Whiskey Throttle says Evan Williams. Should I read out all the answers, or I'm just going to read out the correct one?
What's that?
Jason Whiskey Wise says Mr. Bourbon.
No. Looks like I'll keep this sample.
Food Quick. Go Habs says Food Quick.
Go Habs. That's not an answer, Food Quick.
Jim Beam says, or sorry, Tony says Jim Beam. I feel like we might not have
Google
enough.
Somebody go Google it.
There you go.
I'll ask it one more time. Besides Elijah Craig, who was the other one individual credited with bourbon whiskey? There's only two people, like lone people. Everyone else was like his groups of people that were credited with bourbon whiskey.
I think someone has it. Whiskey Wings says Jacob Spears.
That is correct. Whiskey Wings. Send Rob your information, your address, and I will send you not only that sample, but something else special.
Yeah, Whiskey Wings got it. Jacob Spears. And for the record, not that, I mean, I probably shouldn't throw myself under the bus all the time, but I didn't know that either. Beard told me before the show started, so. Also, if you guys get a chance, there's only 24 of you. All 24 of you, I don't think many of you have gone out to Snups and put on your favorite whiskey in the Whiskey in the Six group, but you really should, because I'm going to be giving away a Lot 40 12-year-old cask strength, which everybody that's tasted it absolutely loves. It's 100% rye. So if you like rye, that's definitely the thing for you. I'm going to force Beard to do it tonight. Hopefully he gets a chance.
My bottles don't last as long as your bottles. My bottles, usually when I get them, I open them and then I drink them. So, like, I don't have time to take pictures unless you want to see pictures of empty bottle.
That's okay. We can see a picture of an empty bottle as long as you share your favorite. Go to Snups. It's on Android or iOS, and basically you just join the Whiskey in the Six group after you've made your profile and post a picture, and that gives you a chance to win the Lot 40 cask strength, which I will be giving.
I'll tell you what, by the end of the year, I will be a Snups member. Rob's like, I wish you said by the end of the month. You didn't say by the end of the month? Why didn't you said by the end of the year? You didn't say by the end of the month.
It's all good. I will be giving the draw ends the end of January, so January 31st, which is next Wednesday, I believe. It's called Snups, so that's SNUPPS. I will write it in the chat. Snups. There you go. Yeah. So clearly this time slot is probably not the best for my viewers. Apparently I have a lot of Eastern time zone viewers that would prefer the later slot. We had, like I said, the other night we had about 64, I think. So it's okay, because we're entertaining 26 people right now, and that's fun. Well, I don't know about entertaining. You're doing the entertaining.
I don't know what entertainment is, but woo! I told Rob I was going to do that at least once before we started talking, because we're about ready to get off of here in the next 10, 15 minutes.
That's right.
Continue to drink and have a good time, and hopefully you guys are having a good time as well.
All right, very cool. So, yeah, Roy, honestly, I tested it out, and it wasn't what I thought it might be. Based on your numbers at this time, but then again, like I said, I don't have nearly the articulation that you do and the just hypnotic type personality that Roy does. So it's a little harder for me to gain 160 live viewers. People just tune in, listen.
Hey, Roy, all I want to say to you, Roy, is send me my samples so I can blind test them, and I want a handwritten note. I want handwritten notes. Everything handwritten. I don't want no type shit. So I want handwritten.
Roy sent me a nice. Honestly, that's the one thing, is the only time I've ever received a package with a beautiful letter attached to it was from Roy. Everybody else just kind of throws a bunch of samples in a box and just.
Oh, whatever. I handwrite everything I send to you.
Aside from you.
Oh yeah, sure. Oh, now I get it. Now I get a compliment.
Well, I haven't. There's a package that is with my American friends right now that will be brought over legally in a couple of days, and I'm sure that there's a beautiful note inside there that I will read publicly for everybody to hear.
There is a note, and obviously toys for the son.
You're the man, Roy. Beard, honestly, you are the man.
Damn right.
Okay, before we go, we have 26 people strong. 26 people love us. We love you guys, and I want Beard to plug himself. Tell us what you are doing now, what you plan on doing, and where this channel with the beard supplies and all the other stuff goes.
Well, as some of you know, I'm an author of a book about my through hike of the Appalachian Trail in 2013 called Hiking to Beer. Hiking to Beer you can purchase on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Books a Million. I'm also involved in beard care products. Right now we've got balm and oil. It's called 27 Beard Company. I have an Etsy shop that I'm just starting up, and for you guys that are watching right now, and for who, until Sunday the 28th, I'm going to be giving 25% off of the beard balm and the beard oil to you guys, and it'll be the code that you use when you go on Etsy is Whisky with an E, WHISKEY 27 for the code to get 25% off of my Etsy shop right now. It just started recently in the last week, so obviously there's not a lot of traffic, so hopefully you guys can bring a little traffic to that. I'm going to plug Rich Valley Apiary. They're also on Etsy. Check them out. They've got handmade soaps and lotions and lip balm and all kinds of cool stuff. I'm going to plug whiskey. Drink whiskey. Drink more whiskey. I like whiskey. Whiskey flavor. And also, the way I see, where I like envision getting weird with the beard going is more in the line of rye. So most of the channel will be, in the next couple months, I'm going to start moving to rye. Most of the channel will be 90% rye whiskey. I hope you guys keep tuning in and subscribe. And if you like my face, give it a like. If you don't like my face, give it an unlike. I don't mind a thumbs down, just as long as you watch a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no. Thank you.
I actually have Lloyd's book right here. I'm about halfway through. It is great stuff. It is interesting to hear his journey, so I definitely recommend it. I know for sure that his channel is going to be successful because he's a great dude. He's passionate about whiskey, and he drinks some of the coolest shit that I've seen. I think that's the first time I've said that word on my channel, but hopefully none of my students are watching. Coming up over here, I have on Friday a review coming out on the Octomore 7.4. I have this Octomore 8.1 that will be coming out shortly, right? I also have, by recommendation of many of the whiskey fabric, including Roy, Lagavulin 12, and a whole bunch of Isla stuff coming up. I have a whole bunch of peated whiskey, actually. You okay?
I don't want to touch it.
All right, good. I just want to give a quick shout out to a whole bunch of people. I want to give a shout out to Roy Aquavite, super nice guy, very, very knowledgeable. He puts out videos that are mesmerizing because he knows more than I will ever learn in my life. He's forgotten more than I will ever learn in my life about Scotch. So definitely subscribe to him. Jason Whiskey Wise, super nice guy. Subscribe to him. He knows a ton about whiskey, and he's in a very nice place in the world where he has access to a ton of it as well. Ben from No Nonsense Whiskey, check him out. Super nice guy. He just hit 1,000 subscribers, and I anticipate he will hit another 1,000 within the next few months. Scotch for Dummies, awesome dudes. They know a ton about whiskey. They focus on Scotch, but they do have Mike, who comes in with the bourbon information every once in a while. Swami from Malted in Montreal, super cool guy. He knows a lot about Scotch as well. Did you want to say something, Lloyd?
No, I was just trying to figure out why I couldn't see you anymore. Can you see me?
I can see you. Yeah, I can see you.
Yeah, for some reason, it's only showing your emblem.
Oh, really? Yeah, that happened to you.
Fine. Hey, if you can still see me, I'm sorry. No, it's good.
Our connection's skipping back and forth. I honestly want to and I know that like Ralphie is the guy that kind of started this all the whiskey reviewing thing, but I want to stop for a second. I haven't seen them in the chat tonight, but hopefully they get a chance to watch it later on. If I missed anybody, I did miss somebody. Keith from the Malted Man Cave, super cool guy. Yeah. So, but before we end, I want to talk about the Scotch Test Dummies because I want to talk about what they did for the Whiskey Fabric. They had more subscribers and views than any of us. They started well before a few of us. And what they did is they invited almost every single one of us onto their channel. And by doing that, they grew the Whiskey Fabric. They grew knowledge about whiskey for you guys because they exposed you guys to a whole bunch of different channels. And if it wasn't for the Scotch Test Dummies starting these live reviews with other subscribers, I don't know if this ever would have happened. I don't know if it would have, because the people that preceded the Scotch Test Dummies didn't care to reach out and bring us all together. And I do want to give credit to the Scotch Test Dummies for doing that because they are the reason why we are so tight-knit. They're the reason why we get together on group chats and talk to you guys about whiskey. So honestly, if you guys haven't, which there's only 29 people, and I suspect that every single one of you are subscribed to the Scotch Test Dummies. But if you haven't and you watch this later on, go over there and do so because they are super, super nice guys.
They're super kind people. Scotch Test Dummies, they've, given, they've planted the corn is what they did. And they're just helping out other smaller channels, and they always have. They're always, very humble in their rise, and if you have not subscribed to them, so they are giving and fun letting reviewers.
Absolutely. Everybody that joined us today, thank you very much. Really, really appreciate it. You guys are all awesome. We're gonna sign out, but we'll probably chat a little bit longer. So glad you guys joined us. We didn't get enough bourbon chat in there. I ended up following the chat going on, and then I kind of got distracted going back and forth. I'm still figuring it out over here when it comes to lives. I'm not the best at it, that's for sure. But
I'm not even close to being the best at it. But Whiskey Wings, don't forget, that sample is yours, my friend. So either get a hold of me through the Instagrams or the Twitters or something, or give Rob your information, and I'll get this to you.
All right, I'm going to leave him my email address one more time, just in case he didn't get it earlier, so that he can.
Yeah, I just want to say cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to take a little bit of my infinity bottle. When I say a little bit, I meant way too much.
All right, guys, cheers. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.
Sorry
for interrupting your day.